Hello viewers, I'm SB and welcome back to Dead Cells, where today we've got a pretty slow build going. Honestly, we really need some new stuff. As you can see here, I'm still rolling with a lot of tier 4 equipment. I got this very nice cudgel shield. It spreads oil, it freezes people, there's biters, like, it's strong. I like it a lot. Everything else is like from the very beginning zone, and we desperately need some new toys. So I've done this whole run with the Hemorrhage here, which is the most recent blueprint that we got out of the Astrolab. And honestly, I think it's pretty spectacular. It doesn't say it here in the text, and it definitely should, but it seems like it stuns with every single hit, even against the bridge boss. That's going to make it hard for you to believe the amount of health that I have left when you see that in a second. I'm just going to level with you. I'm not playing at my absolute best today. I feel like it's been a little sloppy, but I think this weapon's really cool, but the fact that it's a tier 4 means that we're like, the damage is starting to get a little insufficient. We need to find some new toys. So, like I said, I kind of got walloped against Bridge Boss a little bit. I got through the ossuary without having to buy the flask charge, and then just immediately lost everything against Bridge Boss. So this is the Hemorrhage. It is the throwing weapon. You can see I've taken the ammo mutation, which I don't usually do, but this has only 5 ammo by default, and I was finding there were situations where it was difficult to deal with groups of enemies because all of the ammo was getting stuck. So it's very slow moving, it's very slow throwing, but it's powerful. It has a very large projectile, and the collision size of the projectile does seem to matter. And also, like I said, it seems like it stuns with every hit, and it causes bleeding, and then also crits against bleeding targets. So you get a lot of really big damage out of it. It looks like it's safe down there. I think we're... Nope, never mind. Here, we're going to let this dude come up here. Right, like, look at that. It just... If you can get one enemy alone, basically any enemy, you can just stun lock it all the way to death. That said, given the attack speed of it, it is a little bit scary against screen bats. Look at him. Look at him. He just doesn't get to play the video game. Only I may play the game. It is hard to use it against flying things because of how incredibly slow it is. Yo, that is wonderful. What a wonderful radish. My plan was to just keep going until we got hit once and triggered disengagement and then drink from the flask. This is going to allow us to wait a little bit longer on that. Now, obviously, I don't want to buy a weapon, but I will... if we see a decent one, I may very well do so. Just because I really do not feel safe trying to pull off a curse here with a tier 4 very slow weapon. I think it's a dangerous position to be in. You know, let's go ahead and do this. We got real good weapons. Again, pretty good at dealing with individual enemies. That is actually an upgrade. Our drop no longer starts oil fires, but that hasn't really been too relevant. And it is even more health. You can never have enough health. Okay, I'm gonna do it. We're gonna pull it, and boy, it's scary. We have a lot of very good defensive grenades. We have a powerful shield. I cannot imagine that we're gonna use that. It seems very unlikely. I'm not gonna recycle it just yet, but that seems very unlikely. Yeah, I'm nervous. This weapon is really hard to use safely around more than one enemy, and there are some enemies, like even if we are one-on-one, I'm gonna leave that too. Even if we are one-on-one, like the blade guys who do the backdash that carries them through projectiles, a single missed projectile with this thing is so much lost time. So we are going to have to be very cautious, make good use of our grenades. Things that are rooted are much easier to hit with the big slow projectile. And then as you can see, we're about at the base level with scrolls. I think I found a challenge room. Okay, so there's 2 things down here, either one of which could end our run in a real hurry. Apologies for the level of cowardice that you are about to witness. It's going to be extreme. But we're just going to take it really slowly and carefully. Like I was saying, The size of the projectile... Oh, it's not actually making contact with that guy. That's a bummer. The size of the projectile does actually seem to matter. It seems to have a much larger hitbox than an arrow would. Okay. 6. 6 is a lot. Just watching very carefully for shapes in the mist. And also, every single green bat we have to kill is going to be terrifying. Okay, this is one of those nightmare scenarios where we have to fight more than one enemy at once. Although it looks like we're getting a lot of a lot of help out of the burning and biting. Okay, so there is one enemy down in the water, down there, and then also there was a green bat hanging there, so that could be our 2. Okay, this is even better. Ooh, scary. Okay. Somehow, we survive. Alright, that is the last time we are likely to have to be cursed, right? This is not, of course, to say that we are going to survive from here on, but that's one of the big danger points past. Yeah, we'll just jump this guy real fast. Oh, okay. Very close, very scary. I wish I could enter this from the other side. Alright, we're going to stomp through this guy, is my plan. Facing to the right, and we're going to throw the grenades, and hopefully they're just going to deal with the bats. Oh, they dealt with one of the bats. Okay. So, on the whole, aside from the sloppy performance against the boss, and the fact that our equipment's out of date, this has been going pretty well. The Hemorrhage is a powerful tool. And we're very safe with these grenades, obviously. It is less than optimal to use them both at the same time, all of the time. I should probably stop doing that. Ah, damn it. As you can see, that attack animation's really, really long. Oh, I did not roll correctly. Wow, he definitely did that after he had gotten hit. Well, I suppose there's no point in not flasking now, right? Well, there's also no reason to flask while we still have disengagement available. We should really try to save that. Oh, almost put myself in harm's way a little bit there. Yeah, it's really scary to use a weapon that's this slow. I've been on edge basically the entire run. Because this weapon was in, the starting tubes. I feel really bad for the poor biters. Every time we get shot by one of those ranged enemies, he kills like a dozen biters. And it's brutal, man. Just like the squishing noises, you know? I do not love this. We definitely need to clear this before we pull the switch. Oh, it's one of these. Shoot. Yeah, that's not going to be doable. Well, the good news is, I suppose, that this guy will not teleport out, but we really need that that Fog Bishop to not be alive. That's a serious problem. We basically can't go through this area ever again if that guy's still up, because if he turns the golem invisible, it's going to be... Yeah, shoot. I don't think that's a solvable problem. I think we will just have to deal. All right, let me go this way. Let's clean up what we can in this direction before we commit to anything. It would be really nice if we could find a big ol' radish. I really do hate... Oh, God. Oh, there's 2 of them. I really do hate not having a shield, is what I was going to say. Like, you get into situations that are so hard to deal with. The shield can solve almost every problem when applied correctly. Okay. Let's start by killing this guy. Oh, I'm going to push him through the bishop. Okay, no, that's fine. Yeah, if he had gone to the other side of the bishop so that we needed to throw 2 additional axes before hitting him again, I'm fairly confident he would have gotten time to wake up. And you can see, even with our weapon being horribly out of date, like, it still kills the enemies in a very small number of hits. Boy, this is going to be... There we go. That is very not ideal, and then both of these items are terrible. I think we're just not even going to fight that elite up there. Well, okay, hold on. How dire is the situation? It is just the one, I suppose. It's hard to know what he's going to do when we activate him, though. Alright. Turns out not to be an issue. The double up is always the best one. Always the easiest to deal with. And then there are more enemies left in there. We can come back if we're close to combo. And we need, like, fewer than 10 enemies. And I think we're just going to have to go hit the button now. Yeah, with this being shaped the way it is, there's actually just no way to deal with this. I guess, okay, if I parry him and... Yeah, alright, if I parry his spin, then he'll be stunned. I actually don't even know if that works against people who are invincibly shielded, though. Guess we're going to find out. I'm going to go for it. If we get hit, we disengage and we just run away, because he won't teleport after us, right? Okay, the answer is it does work, but also we disengage. Then we don't even have to kill the elite, actually. We could just... The Fog Bishop being dead is good enough, but now that we're down here, we may as well. Okay, there's still, unfortunately, a training dummy down there, so that's a problem. Alright, let's start by just going downward. Nope, never mind. Yeah, I guess we just don't go back there. Just fight through all these enemies. We're gonna have to go all the way back to here anyway. So it's not like we're skipping, you know, by fighting back through here, it's not like we're saving a lot of space. It's really just one room. We may as well. We may as well do it this way. Okay, that guy by himself is not such a big deal. We have a route. Unfortunately, the golems are apparently never affected by the training dummy. Oh, he's so slow. He's so slow, it really screwed up my parry timing there. Fortunately, he was slowed to the point where it ended up working out again. Got him. I really love the fact that all you have to do is, like, shoulder check them, and it takes them completely out of commission. And as long as you can get that first hit in, if you can get one-on-one with anything with this weapon, and that really pretty much includes bosses. And I know, obviously, I got hit a bunch of times against the boss, so it's not perfect. But if you can get one-on-one with just about anything, you get that first hit in, it's yours. You just win the fight. It really is a remarkable weapon. I really tensed up there. That was actually scary. As a jump scare, as good as anything I've gotten out of any horror game. When the first swing missed the parry, I was sure we were done for. Also, there's a considerable amount of knockback on this thing, which is actually really nice because it makes it easy to shove people off ledges. Do we think there's a reason to go up there? There might be. It's hard to know. Let me see. Really like it if that guy was a little further from the wall here. You know, just so we have a little bit of wind-up time before he does something. My assumption is that dropping the ceiling on that golem is not really going to do that much damage. I'm going to ignore this. So green weapons and green stuff in general, because obviously shields too, right, are very much about control in a general sense, and I think these, even more, the Hemorrhage, even more than many other green weapons, is like super about controlling the circumstances of combat. Boy, I'm glad they can't just decide to start shooting fire, because that would have been a really bad time for them to have gone for that. So we've actually got this area filled out on the map already. I'm just not even going to fight the golem there. Let's just move on. We'll come back. Alright, so that's our door. That's the exit. Yeah, I guess. It doesn't really matter. Either way, we have to run through a bunch of dead space. So I do have to wonder, like, how effective the Hemorrhage would be against the Hand of the King. I think against the Giant, it's going to be a weird thing, because obviously stunning one of his hands doesn't really give you the same level of safety. There's still other stuff happening in the fight. But, like, if it works against the Hand of the King the way it worked against Bridge Boss, it could make for the easiest Hand of the King fight we'd ever had. Obviously, I have no interest in doing this with a Hemorrhage 4, but, you know, we could probably get a better one. And even at tier 4, it's still doing that. I've had to rely on the shield a lot more than usual today. Damn it. And the second half of that sentence was going to be, but it's going really well, actually. Thank you for asking. Okay, we'll be back. We'll be back. This is not the correct way. I need to go down. Okay. So there's definitely a, we don't exactly know where the training dummy is. We have a general idea. The thing where enemies miss on purpose to make you waste a parry and then hit you again before the parry cooldown is up is a bummer and needs to stop happening. It's too effective as a strategy. You're not allowed to do that good of a job. I think in the episode where I talked about this thing right after we unlocked it, I described it as feeling like a ghouls and ghosts weapon, and I really stand by that. I really think it does. That game was the bane of my childhood. It's not a video game a child should have to put themselves through. The level of trauma that it inflicts is too great. Right, bump him. When we're on a really narrow platform like this, it's actually really easy to get that body block. Can we access? It's hard to tell from over here. I would like to get access to the training dummy. But obviously, it could be a problem depending on what else is on the same platform. Alright, we're going to try not to wake the golem just yet. I mean, it's past this guy. So I think maybe my plan is, let's see if we can... Oh. Uh-oh. Okay. Try to get his attention and get him teleporting after us. So he can, Oh, crap. Additional demon makes that a little bit more complicated. Come on. Aw. There we go. Well, that's not exactly how I thought that was going to go. That's fine. Come on. Uninvincible. There we go. That's definitely a kill. Okay. So, if we were to get our head stuck onto one of these golems, it would teleport us to it, right? So that's not a safe way to deal with that. I think we're still going to just avoid those guys as best we can. There's not a lot of value in fighting them. And for the amount of damage they can do especially, it feels like it's really not a good risk. It's not a smart risk. we're already going to end up way lower on Flask than I would like. This is potentially interesting. The thing is, I don't actually mind our crowd control grenades being tier 4 so much because, obviously, we're not really using them for the damage in the first place. I think I'm actually going to, as long as we're on Hemorrhage, I feel like it's probably actually a good idea to have 2 different forms of crowd control, because the enemies are faster than this thing is. It is bad for dealing with enemies. Until you get that first hit in. There we go. See, that's the thing I should probably be doing more often. Oh, he's too short. I actually did manage to throw it over him. You fall a significant distance while winding this thing up. But apparently I do not quite have the feel of that figured out yet. I do like that we can run kind of close to an enemy and start the wind up on the axe while they're still a statue, and have it come out like right as they finish being a statue. Okay, so we are going to have to fight this guy. Damn it, that was supposed to be a follow through, and I got over eager and I held the direction too early. We got the classic "no, I'm not going to do that" beep there. You know, because the game wants us to feel terror. At its heart, Dead Cells is really a pulse-pounding horror extravaganza. And let me tell you something. It's effective. It's very effective. Alright, this is just a shop, and it's probably not even worth going to, but we're going to check. If it's a weapon shop, it may well be the case that it has something valuable that's cheap enough that it's worth buying just to have a better weapon for starting the Cavern. These are 9s. Wait, did I? It thinks I pressed R while we were still over the purples. I was trying to... Boy, that's an embarrassing thing to fail at. It's not really that hard to just stand over the correct icon. Well, I mean... Oh, no, did I hit random? I went past the green and I hit R on the random button. That's what it is. Well, that's equally bad. There was a chance, that we were going to get the the color we wanted. Alright, I think we're probably just going to bounce now. I don't know, like, we have enough money that it feels to me like it's not worth fighting these enemies. And especially, I'm worried about our long-term health resources. So we're just gonna go to the Cavern with a tier 4 weapon. And, reasonable amount of green. A reasonable amount of main stat. Also, nowhere near combo, and we were not getting there. I think I'm going to keep the ammo mutation. I mean, it's not really... It has not, so far, really been all that necessary. What might we replace it with? I mean, there are certainly shield mutations we could take. There's something to be said for, like, the one that deals damage. Yeah, Spite. Heart of Ice wouldn't be bad. In fact, Heart of Ice would be pretty good. Heart of Ice would ensure we have our grenades, like, all the time. I think I'm going to hold on to the ammo thing, though. We didn't end up needing the bonus ammo there, but we easily could have. And I did get into a situation more than once earlier in the run where 5 was not enough. I ran out of ammo, and then I had a rough situation where I had to flee from enemies until I was able to grenade them to death. And if we find the weapon shop, we may buy a weapon earlier than we often do, because we could really use the replacement, like, right away. Oh, hey, that guy does not get stunned. He is not concerned about this thing at all. These guys do, though. Oh, wait, we could probably get that demon. Maybe not. So you are not stun-proof. Never mind. He was still, it seemed like, briefly interrupted. Obviously, with these guys, you always got to be a little careful about the shield. It's kind of weird how the Cavern is, clearly, in the game's opinion, the epitome, the peak of Dead Cells combat difficulty. But it's made up of like 80% enemies that are from the first area. There we go. I really love it when they try to zoom in and just murder the biters. Okay, patience. Patience is valuable. That is not patience. Okay, that... I was expecting there to be platform where we jumped down. That did not go the way I thought it was going to go at all. Not even a little tiny bit. Oh, I can't actually get up there like this. Okay, we're going to have to do bounce backs on that guy, I think, but I'm going to try to pull this demon down first. Okay. Actually, we could probably just climb up here. Yeah, and then threaten him in a more direct way. Or this is fine. Yeah, this is a real safe angle. I would guess that I have reflected more shots in today's episode than probably in the 3 or 4 previous episodes together. It's been a very shield-heavy run. Kill this guy quickly before the demon zooms in on us. I think it's really cool that you can just bump into them and it has an effect. Are they the only enemy that's true of? That's a neat thing that makes them feel really unique. It makes fighting them feel unique. Come on. I know you're gonna do it. There we go. You can tell. You can see the gleam in their beady little eyes. Alright, the biters are doing a lot of really excellent work, too. I don't want to leave them out of our combat analysis. They are definitely a critical part of what's going on today. Okay, we found the skill shop. I am pressing R on the correct part of it. You know, the loss of a shop in the Slumbering Sanctuary to missed button press is certainly embarrassing, but it's not really a big deal because you kind of don't care. We are very, very much looking for the weapon shop in here, though. I think we've seen this like once or twice. Is there no end to his ego? I ask. Oh, hi. Okay. Have we ever seen one of those guys do that before? Do the stomp attack twice in a row? I don't think so, right? Don't they usually vary it up. They do the stomp once and then they come in and try to melee you. Okay, there we go. That was a little scary. It's like, I'm really worried. I'm really worried about our long-term resources here. Oh, cool. It doesn't work on you guys. Well, that's good to know. I mean, we kind of have to, but we are in real bad long-term shape now. So, okay, we cannot rely on that against the birds, but root does work on the birds, and we have a root. Also, we can just raw damage through those guys, which is, I mean, it's certainly a strategy. I'm not a huge fan of it. If we could parry the falling rocks, obviously, that would make that a lot more consistent. Okay, we're definitely going to wait on this. I did burn like 2% health. Technically, we didn't get the full value of our flask, but I reckon y'all would forgive me for that one. Also, skill shop. Do we want to trade something out? You know, like a whistle would actually be pretty cool. Can we get a giant whistle? What's the difference between our root grenade and this root grenade? about 1,000 DPS, and then also a very large number of traits. I don't know how relevant these traits are. The fact that this has arrows stuck in enemies come back, though, is maybe worth... That may well make it worth having. Yeah, alright. We have money. We can afford to upgrade the kit a little bit. I would love to see a giant whistle, actually. It makes this area so much easier to traverse. I would love to see a giant whistle to the point that we're going back to the other skill shop. Because, like, what if, instead of having to wait for our root grenade cooldown to be up to fight the birds, we could wait for the root grenade or the whistle? Aha. Spreads oil, freezes stuff. I mean, we're kind of taking it for the 36,000 damage. Alright, I do definitely feel a little bit better with this loadout. I think this has a lot more potential to get us through stuff without getting killed. Ooh, I hate this, though. I did not think he was going to be aware of us, like, in teleport mode there. I guess dropping an enemy on his head is good enough. It's enough to make him realize something is up. So this is the thing where we don't actually want to root him, right? I think if y'all don't mind, I'm just going to chill here for a second. We're going to let the giant initiate combat for us. Actually, not even initiate. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to let him walk to the left one more time. We're going to jump up, axe the face, and then have the giant punch him. And then, okay, I was going to say, if that doesn't do it, then we can jump up and crit him again real fast. Yeah, honestly, I really like the design of the demon. I think the demon is a cleverly put together enemy. Oh, hey, how you doing? What? He teleported while standing on the same platform we were on. Just, like, that's just a thing he's allowed to do whenever he wants. Dude, we're trying to have, like, a civilization over here. There are rules, man. There have to be rules. Oop, I felt not good. Here we go. Let's try to blow him up real fast and then drop through. Alright, let's go see what we got. It's a necklace that is actually pretty good. Yeah, I think this is just hugely better. It even has 5% more damage reduction on it. Come on, walk over here a little bit more so I'm confident the giant will see you. Okay. At its core level, that guy's not really that different from the enemy in the beginning area who just shoots at you once, right? Oh no! I didn't actually make it onto the platform. That's embarrassing. Okay. I'm going to try to save the giant for the enemies that we actually need him against, mostly in the interest of speeding the run up. But it's not like we're in a tremendous amount of danger against most of these things, because the Hemorrhage really is powerful. That said, if we could trade this out for a Hemorrhage 12, it'd be kind of a nice change of pace. That poor guy. I was expecting we were going to have to trade hits on them. And just use the stuns to keep them knocked out of the fight for long enough. But the one in the back kept pushing the other one forward. He's like, no, you get him. You go fight him. Absolutely cold-blooded. See, this is why they're the bad. This is what makes them the bad guys. You know, I deleted that without really considering it. And to be clear, I do not think for our build we should take that. But I hadn't really considered an off-color Hakuto's bow. Oh, man. We have to do this. Yeah, you cannot skip a power scroll. Oh. Oh, interesting. You stay right there, Great Owl. probably that's a no. If I forget about him, we're losing 1,200 gold. It's really interesting. It's an interesting idea. And I love Oil Owl, obviously. Say that 3 times fast. But I don't... I think we want CC and the giant whistle. There's almost no way we're taking that owl, but I'm gonna leave him here for the moment. Alright, a solid strike. We have to be so careful. It's so easy to take damage in the cavern from not being careful, and it's so easy to take damage with this weapon in particular. I am absolutely going to let the giant punch many, or maybe even most, of our 9 remaining enemies. So apologies in advance, everyone. How are you doing? Just, we'll just have a nice, quiet, civil conversation here. You're not rootable, are you? No, okay. Obviously, I wasn't too concerned about that guy. If it turns out that there aren't 7 enemies left, we'd be in so much trouble. Okay, just run away, outrange the projectiles. There's no reason to allow a projectile to be anywhere near me. I mean, I'm pretty happy about getting the cursed chest. Obviously, like, an extra power scroll is a big deal. Oh, the danger. If we stand directly above the thing, we're totally safe. Okay. If that demon tries to come up here, we have a body block very easily, and otherwise I am absolutely just gonna wait out the whistle. I'm so scared of losing a lot of progress. Like, this is a huge amount of time, right? A run that gets to this point. It's very scary. It's a very scary thing. Just mashing the button. There we go. Okay, curse lifted. Everything's cool. Back to normal fight mode. Normal fight mode involves a lot of waiting and a lot of whistling as well. So here, I'd really like to kill the bird with a root and axes so that we can get the other guy with the whistle, ideally. You know what? Trust the giant. The giant knows which enemy is the bigger one. I wonder if that's how he makes the choice. Because it has that line of text here, right? The most dangerous enemy around, according to the giant. I wonder if it does always just punch the biggest thing in the area. No, that can't be it, right? We've seen it do... Yeah, we've seen it target on other criteria. So this is only 1 rank better than our cudgel, and I think the rampart is, in general, a much less good shield than the cudgel, although that's probably not actually true against bosses. But the giant's not the part of the run that I'm most concerned about, right? I think that's probably a pretty uncontroversial stance. I do think we probably want to get rid of the hemorrhage for the giant fight. The hands spend a lot of time in the air. And obviously it's... Oh, God. Oh, this has gotten real ugly real fast. Okay. Nothing that can't be solved by a lot of panicked rolling and the giant doing all of my fighting for me. Alright, if you're not close to them, they do get a second shot, which is definitely annoying. Okay, here we have our weapon shop. Show me some survival-type weaponry. So what are we looking for? I'm not necessarily into a crossbow build. Like, obviously, the giant slayer is fine. We could use the guitar. We would probably be able to get critical tempo against the eyeball pretty frequently. This might be one where it's worth waiting until we're about to go fight the boss, because, like, if we want to buy the giant killer, I certainly don't want to use the giant killer against the rest of the caverns. I think the hemorrhage is much better for that. But I don't know that It's certainly good against bosses. I don't know that I love it against the Hand of the King. And in the Distillery, it's definitely going to be a little bit of a liability. I do like Blood Shield, but not not enough to pay for it, I don't think. Boy, it's starting to get a little grim here, huh? Okay, well there's Hemorrhage 12. Are we just committing to this? Plus 20% damage, slow nearby victims, ammo up, shoots arrows kind of all over the place, but not forward, worth noting. Yeah, okay. Wow, look at the 50% more DPS. That's actually very impressive. Okay, we're just gonna try to make it work. We can probably, because we have yeah, arrows stuck in enemies, come back on one of our things, so we could probably afford to trade off the ammo mutation. I don't know what for exactly, but something. Yeah, I mean, this thing hits hard, and while I've said before, obviously, like, strategies that are based on a large number of hits are going to scale better because of the damage cap on hits against bosses. This thing is slow big hits, but it does also cause a bleed, which is a bunch of additional damage over time. So we probably won't be too badly damage capped. Yeah, we're not going to be able to use all these shenanigans against the boss, unfortunately. You know what? That guy's in a position that's awkward enough that we're just going to whistle him. I love the idea of the giant jamming his arm up that little narrow passageway in the rock. The precision. He's the greatest killer of all time. Nothing can stop him. Oh, well, that guy's probably dead. I was all prepared to run away. You know what? I'm going to come up this way. We can get a better angle for him to shoot at us from. Although apparently he's just going to waste his opportunity. Alright, red. Am I going to be able to... I might be able to jump up there. Stick to the wall. Obviously, if we go for it, the minute we stick to the wall, we are in. So I'm actually going to see if we can't cheese him with the whistle here. Why ever fight anything fair, I ask you? Why would you fight in a way that you might lose? What if no enemy ever had the chance to attack us? 20,000 health may as well be infinite. Not necessarily a huge fan of all this verticality, though. I hate it when I press the button for a skill and you just get the no-no noise. That's the technical term. That's what all the high-level players call it. Every single time it makes me clench a little bit because I'm like, oh god, this is it. This is where it goes wrong. Oh hey, that was guy 60. Cool, we comboed. We've actually handled the Cavern pretty well, I think. You reckon the giant's just gonna kill him straight up from full health? He totally might. Let's get this demon out of the way so the giant doesn't accidentally target him. It was non-lethal. It was close, though. It was close. So obviously we're going to leave that for the moment. I mean, we've got to be pretty close to getting out of here, right? Based on the number of elevators that we've seen. I gotta tell y'all, I am in a state of some significant physical discomfort here. It's too many hours sitting in this chair lately. He tried to jump. He tried to jump like he didn't understand how the route works. that's not what I wanted. Alright, let's make sure we don't necessarily have to worry about that guy. See, I'm definitely a little worried about this. Like, it's going to do really good damage to the eye, probably. Come on, walk away a little bit. But I'm a little worried about getting to the state where the eye is out, and I'm also kind of concerned that we might not be able to get multiple attacks off. Like, the refire speed on this thing is so poor. Ooh. I was mashing Q that entire time, and it just did not throw the grenade. That could have gone really poorly. It's kind of wild that we just happened to find, in the last reroll of the weapon shop, had a Hemorrhage that was almost exactly the one we already had, huh? I didn't have to adjust my thinking even the tiniest bit for this. So we're usually at 26 main stat when we go to the giant, right? This is about where we expect to be. Based on the fact that we saw that extra curse chest, I'm a little surprised. Okay, there is another scroll we have not yet hit. I mean, obviously there's a little bit of variance in the way your two-color scrolls shake out. So I mean, we may as well drop through here. And it's Vampirism, which I would never use. How many enemies do we know are left? It's like the moment we have info, all of a sudden, I'm far too cautious. Wow, I mean, it hits hard. There's no two ways about that. Alright, thank you very much, Giant. Wait, where'd the other... Oh, jeez. It went up in the roof, which is a thing I didn't realize it was allowed to do. That could have been bad. Why did I not take the chest first? Why would I not do that? I guess in this case, this door cannot contain enemies, right? So, didn't really matter. Yeah, I'm not wild about being at 2 flask charges already. We have food on the ground. We are going to be able to heal off this point of malaise. So we really are fully at 2 flask charges. Are we done fighting, do you think? There's like an enemy or 2 left, but I don't think I care enough to go back and fight them, given that we've already done our shopping and stuff. I think we're just gonna go. Where are we relative to all the food? There's one over here. Let's eat that one. And then... yeah, so... if we get to the Astrolab without taking any more flask loss, we're still only going to have 3 charges. And I don't see that happening, especially with a weapon this slow. There are going to be errors. And unless it is unbelievably powerful against the Hand of the King, and it might be, again, to be clear, it's totally possible that it will just stunlock him, because I was almost able to stunlock the bridge boss with it. I have to imagine we're going to get hit during that fight, right? I suspect we're probably going to get hit during this fight, although, to be fair, a decent amount of the damage we do during this fight is shield damage anyway. We are offered... Blood Shield 12. Oh, man. So it actually does less damage than the lower level, the massively lower level Cudgel Shield. But it does also have 3,000 bleed DPS. And it starts things bleeding so that we can crit them in one hit with the Hemorrhage. So probably... yeah, probably that's an upgrade, actually. Even if it doesn't necessarily give us the infinite stun. You still get some stun out of blocking an enemy. Whew, alright, a lot's going to come down to the way the Hand of the King fight goes, and unfortunately it's just very difficult to know. So do we want to undo the Hemorrhage? This is a very blocky fight. So here, Spite is probably pretty good. I think we're going to do it. We have a lot of money. And ammo's not going to be too much of a problem because we have an ammo replenisher, and our weapon has +3 ammo on it natively. Yeah, all right, we're going to see. We're going to see. I might be wrong about this. Let's go Spite. I do love Spite. And who doesn't, really? Whew, 22,000 health already. By the time we get to the Astrolab, provided that we do get to the Astrolab, we're going to be in really good shape on that. We're also going to be in a lot of danger in the Astrolab from, like, Book Guy with this very slow lineup. And we'll have to see, right? We'll have to see. Ah. Did you guys maybe, like... Yeah, thank you. Okay, big chunks of damage. And we are not so far having ammo problems because when we change which body parts are out, it looks like it refreshes all my ammo anyway. And actually, there's a significant amount of value in the fact that this thing leaves us floating when we are charging up the attack in the air. Yeah, this fight, like, I don't want to overstate things, but we have learned this fight. We are ready. Ah. Having a really hard time being in a safe place. His bugged hand is really freaking me out. I'm really worried it's going to come down at any moment. One more. Yeah. All right. That was okay. It went a lot smoother than I was afraid it might. All right, just give me all this stuff already. Be all wasting my time out here. Okay. We definitely don't want you. Do I want you? Are you better than the root grenade, is the question. I think the answer is no. The root grenade works on basically everything. One thing that's not clear to me is whether the 2.5 seconds stun listed there is with the duration increase. But even if it isn't, it's still about the same amount of disable. But the root grenade actually does good damage. I suppose we don't really need damage. I'm going to stick with the root grenade. It's almost as good, and it does way more damage, and it does damage to a large area of enemies. Okay, so we got to tighten up our play a little bit here, but this is maybe doable. The Distillery is going to be a little bit scary. There are certainly some enemies in here who could be a real problem for us. And mostly, I'm thinking about the living barrel enemies. Do we want to re-roll anything? We need to keep 20,000. I wonder if we could get, like, bonus damage versus bleed or something. I don't actually think this giant whistle has good traits on it at all. So let's just swing this a couple of times. Spreads oil, starts fires. I mean, that's not bad. And then we do have some bonus damage against burning targets. I'm a little afraid of rerolling this thing and losing the 20% bonus damage. And I like that victims slow nearby enemies effect. I'm gonna leave my stuff like this for the moment. The Bloodthirsty Shield isn't really getting us anything terribly interesting. Yeah, I don't know. We don't really have a lot of synergy in our items here. It's just kind of like a bunch of stuff that's generically simply good. Do we want to re-stuff? Do we want to re-stuff? You know, is our stuff sufficient? I think I'm gonna say no. I think we're gonna say yes rather. Yes, our stuff is sufficient. Let's just go. Okay. If we see a fake barrel enemy, we have to quickly catch it in the face with a hemorrhage axe because otherwise it is going to blow up. But if we do catch it, the stun will probably keep us safe, right? Unless they're not stunnable, which could totally be the case. All right, we got another one of these situations where the weapon has to be charged up, and so this is going to be kind of annoying. Alright, fortunately you don't actually have to do that very much. Okay, just be very careful about barrels on ledges. Oh, nice. And every once in a great while I can actually make decent use of the fact that you can turn around during an attack animation to fire the projectile the other way. You notice how incredibly cautious I'm being. Do I think it's actually valuable for us to go up here? This isn't gonna be the place where the barrel launcher is, I don't think. Ooh boy. That was real scary. No, that's not even good. Okay, I'm gonna head down here. If you want to come join me, feel free. There we go. So the stun does in fact work on them. And you know what? We're just gonna, let's go ahead and deal with that guy. Did I just... Oh no, that was just a barrel exploding up here. You know, because barrels are constantly exploding. In here. It's a very safe work environment. Alright, these guys can be a little bit of a pain. Obviously, I had to fight through the ossuary dealing with them. Because our attack is so slow, you can see we're not actually good at hacking through the group of them. It's difficult to reduce their numbers. And their attack is fast enough that if they wind up a little bit after you start your attack, at least while they're not slowed, they hit you before you actually get the axe off. So it's dangerous. It's dangerous for sure. I think this is going to end us up in the barrel launcher area. Which is to say that it is unnecessary risk. But also, I don't think that it's actually any faster to go backwards at this point. I did a bad. Oh, I did the bad, is the thing. Well, we know where there's a turnip. A turnip's gonna be a pain in the ass to access. Well, we certainly don't want to go back and eat it now. You know what? Maybe I do. Just go back out the way we came so that we can eat the thing now, because we are missing about 50% health. Alright. Alright. Feels real dumb, but I don't want to have to come back to the thing later. And it is going to be slightly easier to traverse in this direction. I'm just going to be patient. We're just going to wait. Okay. I wasn't expecting the thing to turn around because I forgot that I lay a bomb when I roll. At least we do have that shortcut. Alright, so yeah, just drop through here. I don't exactly remember. Is this just a fall through to the... Okay. It is in fact perfectly safe. Hooray for scouting. Okay, so... Just keeping a very, very close eye out for barrels in the background. I have strong feelings about barrels. Oh, right. I do have arrows that shoot upward when I fire, which can be aimed in such a way as to hit these bats. Okay, that's not a danger barrel, and yet that is a danger barrel. God, there are so many bats, and there are so many setups we could have where this would not be a problem. So many weapons where a large number of green bats is just like, hey, free combo. But I am living in terror. Can I do this? Oh! Well, now that is fascinating. I did not realize we could grab the explosive barrels with our head. That actually opens up a couple of interesting new ways of traversing some of these areas, I think. Okay, there we go. And the bat remains have fallen down there and done some damage. That's nice. Great work, Giant. Really excellent targeting. If he had not targeted that guy, I think that could have gotten really ugly. Okay. The Giant's a pretty helpful guy some of the time. Okay, that's fine with me. Either one of them, really. Yeah, just a quick 36,000 damage, no big deal. Let's let this guy walk away a little bit. Yeah, man, maybe it's cowardice, but I really, really love the Giant Whistle and the amount that it makes me not responsible for fighting the enemies. That's another one right there. Do we have reveals invisible enemies? No. For some reason, some of the enemies are just sparkly. I'm not 100% clear on why we're getting advanced sparkle notice. I mean, I'm not complaining. Ooh, okay. Apparently, if you stun him after he starts his charge up, it doesn't stop the charge up. Good to know. Of course, that's the easy part. That's the part that we always do well at. That's not a guy. Sorry, I know, but, like, it's scary, okay? The game is it's frightening to play. None of those barrels are, right? No, yeah, that one's fine. That one's totally okay. Man walking around a distillery, heavily armed. More than half a dozen throwing axes, just leaping at every inanimate object he sees. Okay, I don't love that guy up there. I think that guy's actually going to be kind of a weird issue for us. We're not really good at area damage. I think we're going to be somewhat reliant on blocking attacks. Alright, let's just lighten up some of these enemies. Somewhat reliant on blocking attacks and spreading bleed that way. Although, actually, remember, if we root those guys while they're facing away from us, they don't do any of their attacks, even though all of their attacks would work just fine. So maybe that's the plan. Go like this. And then realize that I can't safely stay on that side anyway, because dudes are going to creep up on me. But it turns out you don't really, you only really need to hit once or twice with this thing. Okay, no, that barrel's fine. Every barrel, that barrel is definitely an enemy. Every barrel I'm the least bit unsure of is getting tested. You know what? Why even deal with the difficulty, right? Potentially dangerous. Fortunately, the enemies are slow and dumb and not really that dedicated to getting the job accomplished here. Okay, everybody here is fine. Not the case. It is not the case that everybody here is fine. I didn't even see that barrel. I was already looking at the ones above us. So wait, what is down here? I don't remember this at all. Is this a secret area we usually see? It's just going to be a thing we gotta sell, right? Yeah. Well, whatever. Part of me really wants to make use of the door. Like, what if our winning run was one where we relied heavily on the ability to hurl a door at our opponents? Doesn't it feel like that would be a fun way to do the thing? All right, hold on. We gotta go back. So far, though, this isn't going totally terribly. We need that scroll fragment, right? Okay. I think there's like just enough scroll fragments here to make a thing, if I remember correctly. We're gonna wait for that guy to walk away and then we're going. And now. Thank you, Giant. I feel like this is not a version of this thing that I recognize. I can't hit the shielded guy because the little slimes keep spawning in front of him at exactly the same rate that we're killing them. Did that kill it? It did not. But we started some fires. Wow. We did very little damage there. It wasn't even enough to successfully kill the thing after it has to spawn 3 additional guys. We wanted to make sure we didn't get aggroed by the big dude. Living in terror, living in fear of a barrel. Okay, you guys are all cool. That's a thing. Are we gonna... This is probably one of these, right? Okay. Works for me. We're not gonna want anything here. I mean, I guess these are 11s. If we saw something that we thought was gonna be more appropriate than the Hemorrhage, it wouldn't necessarily be a bad idea to go down a level for it. I'm really worried about the Hand of the King. But none of the stuff we're seeing here makes me feel any more comfortable or safe. I think we're going to try it like this. This is going to be... It's going to be dangerous. This is a loadout... My big problem here is that this is a loadout that's really easy to screw up with. It is a higher skill required loadout than we usually roll with, for very good reason. I mostly do well when I have a dumb gimmick to rely on. Or, you know, poison, basically. What I'm saying is poison gun. I am very disrespectful to treasure chests. I'm always throwing stuff at them and kicking them, and... Has a man ever been crueler? Crueler to treasure chests. Take this. Okay, I think that... Nope, that barrel... I saw the one on the left there and was like, okay, that barrel's cool. I didn't see the one that was camouflaged against the larger barrel. Very cunning placement. Suspicious, right? Doesn't it feel weird? I don't like it. There's a barrel over here that is 1000% an enemy. It's the most obvious barrel of all time. Is there anything to be had up here? Oh, maybe. Maybe, perhaps. Caution. An abundance of caution. I didn't abundance of caution enough there. I keep getting caught out by ones that are like halfway concealed behind a wall or behind another barrel. Alright, you. I see you. Ah! Okay, I think all the barrels over here are cool. That one's fake. Get out of here with that. What are you doing? I'll tell you what it is. It's a lack of respect. It's like when you're playing Rocket League with somebody and you just keep shooting slow rollers across because you're like, I don't believe that their goalie is up to the task. I don't think that guy has what it takes. It's a way of using the mechanics of a video game to be rude to someone. Okay, that is definitely a fake barrel. This is the thing everybody does, right? This is a universal experience. Wait, did he not? Oh, he didn't actually come over because I think we knocked him out of his teleport with the barrel. The fact that our axe shoots an arrow diagonally upward when we throw it actually has been, I think, tremendous for us. Oh wait, did it seriously? It attacked the rat. It bounced that guy up and he died from fall damage, but if it had hit him directly, it would have killed him. We've seen that several times. So that's funny. that's entertaining to me. We're just going to go ahead and whistle. Must you, right now, when I'm in the middle of something? I didn't exactly see what happened over here. I mean, obviously the guy's dead. This is nothing, right? Yeah. Oh, I didn't get the... Right, the thing fell down there. What are the odds it's even worth going after? We should look. I don't want to, because I'm lazy. But we should. Yeah, like, if it had been triple green, right? I would never have forgiven myself. Also, I never would have known. I would have simply pretended that it was definitely not triple green. Didn't really think this through all the way. I like the way it bounces. Like, I think that the way that animation plays out when we hit one of those bats with it sort of suggests that we're hitting them with, like, the back part of the axe. Okay, whew. I like the idea of throwing an axe at a small enemy and intentionally hitting them with the haft of it. Again, just kind of to use the mechanics of the thing to be disrespectful. Okay, so we got our key. That area always plays out the same way. It's always up. In fact, honestly, I'm not sure. Is the map of this place even very random? It seems like it's always the same general shape at the very least. How dare you? No respect for my personal space. Take this. Okay. Let's kill this guy. Oh, hi. Sort of caught me off guard on that one. Good giant. I really do like the design of the distillery. I think it's really cool, and it's very unlike most of the other areas. Do I think I'm going to be able to... Let's try something. Let's do something experimental. Oh, no, it blows up too fast. I was going to try to carry it down there and hit him with it, which seems kind of silly now when I say it out loud. But if I had just done it, it would have been really cool, I think. Ooh. That almost caught me. Alright, I don't love being 6 in both of the off stats. This is not really where I want to be. These are just going to be worse versions of the things we already have. Very paranoid about the stuff. Okay, so there's one more off-color scroll, and that's it. We have really looted the place out aside from that. Okay. Don't think we're gonna need this. I'm gonna leave it though. And then this is just a lore room on this side, is that right? Just eyeing every barrel with suspicion. Yeah, okay, just the lore room. I think this is, so far this is one of the cleanest distilleries we've ever done, and a huge part of that is owed to me being very suspicious of barrels. I'm getting caught off guard a lot less than usual. Wow, I really fucking wailed on that thing. Did you not, maybe, with the teleporting? Let's kill that guy. We're gonna clear out some of the area around here first, and then we're gonna use the giant to initiate on this guy. Just want to make sure that there's nothing else around that's going to like baffle targeting. So if we do it like this, where the shield guy is all the way over to the left, I'm fairly confident the giant will not be able to pick any other targets. Okay. Easy enough. Oh, I did a bad. I thought for sure we had given him time to walk past us there. He made as though to leap, and I panicked. I thought he was gonna do a thing. I can't handle a guy doing a thing. Oh, yeah, took damage there, making sure we killed the little guy, but obviously, like, penalty is significant. The damage is irreversible. Still a pretty clean distillery overall. That barrel's not red. Okay, this is the one where we gotta convince him to attack us. You fool! Why would you chase me? What possesses you to think that this is a good idea? Okay, so, question. Do I think we should eat this carrot? It would take us back to basically full health, put us at 5 melees. If we have to flask during the fight with the hand, it's probably going to be from damage, not from melees, right? It's hard to say, actually, because it may well be the case that we're able to heal off a lot of the damage we take from getting hit. I think I'm gonna sell it instead. And I know we almost certainly don't need the 300 gold, but 200 gold, excuse me. And then, is there anything else? We've not left anything else behind. There's this dude over here who might have a food, but I don't want to go to the trouble of checking. All in all, I think a pretty clean distillery. Not too shabby. Now, the part I'm scared about. I think we are going to get messed up real bad here. Yep, just a bunch of garbage. Out of curiosity, how much worse is this? It's about 10,000 damage worse. Okay, so how much rerolling do we want to do? We have a lot of money. We could go fishing, basically. I think it's pretty important that we have the arrows stuck in enemies come back thing here. I think, though, it's possible to get poison on the root grenade, and I think it would be really good if we did. Because, first of all, Hemorrhage does crit against poison people. And secondly, we do have bonus poison damage, a lot of bonus poison damage on our giant whistle. So I think we're gonna take a swing at this, and if we don't get arrows stuck in enemies come back, then we could just find ourselves in kind of a rough situation. Which obviously is pretty bad. Yeah. Victims burn, spreads oil, bonus damage to stun targets. I mean, bonus damage to a stun target is probably a thing that's pretty valuable for us. I think they count as stun. I think this is a real stun. It sure looks like a real stun. I mean, am I trying to maximize damage in a way that doesn't really matter? They'll be bleeding from the hemorrhage anyway. And obviously a damage bonus on this is cool unless it hits the damage cap, but I don't know that it is. I'm going to leave it, because I'm really worried that we're going to roll the damage bonus, or the arrows return bonus off of that thing, and then not be able to get it back, and end up spending more money than we want to. So the question here is, like, how much would we care about, like, extended healing? If we hit disengage, extended healing takes us back to full, and we get 54% bonus damage. I think I'm going to buy back our mutations and replace Spite with that, because I don't think we're going to be blocking the boss too much on purpose. I think this is going to be a fight where we try to stay away from him. I think extended healing's kind of spooky. It's kind of dangerous if you don't have disengagement, because it denies you the ability to restore your health really quickly. But we should be okay, I think. Maybe. Perhaps. I have no feeling that we are going to be okay, but I'm trying to convince myself that it's at least a possibility. Alright, let's do it. Oof, boy. That's got some range, huh? Please stop being immune to ranged attacks when I do a ranged attack at you. It's very impolite. So some percentage of ranged attacks he just doesn't get hit by. And he can turn around. He's one of those guys. Did our flask... Okay, it did work. There seems to be some kind of problem with it, though, because it didn't remove the malaise. Yeah, I definitely ran into that. Ah, damn it. Okay. Where did all those points of malaise come from, all of a sudden? Ah. Boy, if any one of those parries had been wrong, you know he would have had range to hit us. It would have just turned out that he was in range. You stay over there. Boy, those do not explode instantly most of the time, I feel like. So we're dead. Yep, okay. Well, that's the run, everybody. Sorry. Yeah, this weapon is just not... It's not viable for boss fighting. It's too slow. It's too slow. It doesn't do enough damage. It has the same problem most green weapons have, where it's really, really slow, and the idea is it's slow and high damage, but it's not nearly high damage enough to warrant the slowness. In practice, the DPS of slow weapons is always so much lower than the DPS of fast weapons. Well, that's a shame. So... we could potentially get to, if we do the best Astrolabe in the history of Astrolabes, we could potentially get to the boss with a single flask charge. And that's it. That's it as far as resources go. And then, I mean, we made it pretty far through the fight last time on a single flask charge, and we had, honestly, about as much health as we're likely to have when we get there now. So I'm trying not to be like, this is the end of the world. It's not good, but it is maybe doable. Could you not, please? Okay. We have to be very careful about shield guy, or about book guy, though. Come here, book guy. Ugh. There we go. That's how you gotta do that. I do not care even a little bit about this bonus cells thing we just picked up. It could not matter any less. Yeah, and unfortunately we really did. We lost all of our flask charges to malaise, not damage, on that fight, which is a real shame. Okay, well, we gotta buy... I mean, in theory I should wait on the radish until we trigger disengagement, right? Because it can remove the malaise from the hit that gives us disengagement. Yeah. down and to the right. If I can avoid getting caught by the boss's ground pound, it's feasible that we could like really do some work against that boss. Now, obviously, avoiding his ground pound is a tough, that's a thing we've had a lot of trouble with, even in optimal circumstances, and slow weapon is not optimal circumstances. So I'm not very confident that this is a thing that can actually happen. But, you know, if you only have one out, you gotta figure out what it is and play to it. If you think you're doomed, it's very important that you, like, try to figure out if there is any way at all, right? And if it turns out that there is one way, then congratulations, you just figured out what your strategy is. The hard part's over. Now just execute, man. I am absolutely going to wait for the giant whistle to come back, and then we're going to have the giant punch book guy over there. 1000% worth the cooldown. Alright, is that guy going to respond? He is. Oof. Terrifying. It's so slow. So they stop patrolling. Aha, but we managed to... Alright, you know what? Fine. If you want to do it this way, we'll do it this way. I was trying to do it the other way. I wanted to be sporting. I really do like navigating this zone. I think it feels really cool. It feels very significant to be in here. Wait a minute, there's something above this ledge. Oh yeah, there's a whole weapon shop up here. Well, thank God for the little colored circles on the map, otherwise I would not have noticed this. 1000% worth it. How high up are we? Do you think the giant has to stand on his tiptoes yet? Alright, what might we want? Because it's entirely possible that the smart money is change your weapon now. But to what? I don't like any of these weapons better. I actually do really like this thing, I'm just scared. Like, the War Spear is at least a little faster. Looks like there's not any reason to actually be up here. Oh, never mind. We didn't even know whether there was a reason to be up here. Man. I feel like the observatory usually spawns at the top of the map, doesn't it? Very much not the case today. Oh, never mind. There we go. That's what I needed. Okay. Now that we have some peace. Can give this guy one of these. Have a little tete-a-tete with our friend up here. You know, he's a learned man. I just wanted to pick his brain a little bit. Using my brain. You know, as a pick. Okay. I am so nervous moving around, like, traversing the vertical plane. Okay, well, that's all we need, in theory, to move forward. So we could just go down here and head to the right. I mean, we may as well. I don't know. There's a lot of percentage in exploring too much more. We want to try to make it with some health left. Alright, that makes things a little bit simpler on me. I'm a little afraid to go forward too much because book guy could be a real problem for us. Like, I really don't want to... I see one up and to the right. Really don't want to move forward without the ability to throw the giant at him. Oh boy. Actually, this is going to be a real nightmare. Okay, that's kind of what I figured. I mean, we can kill this guy for free as long as we don't accidentally get the crow. It feels like I shouldn't be allowed to do that. Well, that's not great. Did he awaken the bookman? It looks like no. Alright, let's get this crow and then this will give our book whistle time to refresh. Very careful, I'm going to choose to call it strategic play. The thing about what we're doing here is it's so damn strategic. That's not great. There we go. Let's try to time it so you catch him as he's rising. How dare you, sir? I don't even know where we're going. Is this the right direction? Maybe? It could be up there, it could be down here. Oh, Lord. Ooh. Okay, well apparently the giant saw an elite and fixated a little bit. I really want him to kill that book guy. I don't want to go down there. The thing is, we can't afford to make a lot of mistakes right now. We are absolutely, by the way, going to be using the giant whistle to kill the two elites at the top of the elevator. Let me just prepare you for that right now. Okay, this is the worst. That guy doesn't belong to anybody. Can we... Alright. It will not be 100% trivial to get that guy, actually. It's kind of a pain. Okay, that works. Boy, I did not even realize that the floor down there fell out until that thing fell out from under us. We got kind of lucky there, I think, in that I did not make a huge fool of myself. Damn it. I was trying to get the flying guy. Okay, flying guy got. Again, we should wait. The magic of disengagement is that it makes stand and wait the right strategy, like a lot. An amount that's probably a little frustrating. This is all, you know what this is? It's all pacing. I'm really cranking up the tension for the final battle, the climactic battle. That almost caused me to run off the ledge for no reason. Alright. I mean, I'm basically just hoping for food, right? What other reason do I have to kill everybody? I don't think there's any. I don't think there's any sensible reason. Oh, does that guy not want to come over here? Kind of seems like he sees us. Well, he should have. He should have seen us. Alright, so I think we actually want to go up here. Let me climb back up inside this thing, because I think the building we saw down there is the Apex Key building. I'm going to level with you. That's a lot of conjecture right there. But it felt right. Little dude scared the hell out of me. He might just die from fire damage if he's not careful. No, apparently the fire's not quite up to the task. Alright. Scouting. Oh, those guys don't teleport. I figured he would, and that it would just be okay, because he is a tiny, weak baby enemy, and I do not fear him. I neither fear nor respect him. Oh, hey, we comboed. Neat. I mean, it is going pretty smoothly, huh? Terror. I'm gonna try to grab the giant, the big dude. When he comes back over, teleport him up and have him fight us. And then that way when we drop back down, the giant whistle will definitely catch the book. Alright, there we go. You know, it's important, it's really valuable to know your limits, to understand what you can and can't get away with, and then to pull some dumb, cheap bullshit on all the stuff you can't get away with. Am I allowed to just, curiosity here? Yes, actually, we could slowly and methodically use the giant to clear out the inside of this thing. Now that we know that, I might feel compelled to do so. Sorry again, everyone. This is maybe going to be a real slow approach to a non-climactic boss fight if I don't do a good job of fighting the boss. Oh, I roll early. Don't roll early. It's very important you don't roll early. That's like a hugely important thing as we go forward. Don't do this. Don't do this thing. Just trying to make sure we're using our cooldowns wisely. Oh, hey, there's a tiny gem in this wall. I mean, what do you think? We should, right? If I'm really concerned about getting hit, and I am, and we have areas inside that are shaped like this, and thus are quite intimidating. To be perfectly honest with you, I don't mind going up against the bird or the brain man at all. But I am showing myself to be the true brain man. Indeed, it is I whose mind is fit to be in a jar atop some sort of Frankenstein bot. Alright, hold on. We're gonna wait for Bookman to come back one more time. I will absolutely dig every book enemy out of this tower. Have we seen any others? Ow. The good news is I accidentally triggered an elite. I think our thing is a little bit better. And then this is the moment where we want to go back and we want to grab a food. Yeah, unfortunately there's no way to stop climbing a wall quickly. Like you can, the fastest way to do it would be to drop. Like if you hit down and jump, you will immediately stop going up on account of you will be going down with fervor and aplomb. But the downside there is if you're not 100% sure ahead of time that that's what you want to do, which was the case for me there. I had no idea what was actually below me. Obviously, it's risky. It's a risky one. There he is. I knew we'd seen another one. Was it worth it? You know what? If it keeps us from taking a hit while climbing the tower, yeah, absolutely, right? Without even thinking about it, it's worth it. So we still have, and remember, we do also have the capability to get free cough syrup from elites as well. I don't know that that's necessarily going to come to actual fruition, and it's probably the case that we won't need it. But we do have an awful lot of malaise removal in our future. So if we were to go through this without taking any more hits, we'd be at 85% health moving into the next into the next biome, into the boss biome, and no melees and 1 flask charge with disengagement up. It's not great, but it might be enough. It's at least enough to make an honest shot. So here's the thing. I don't really do small talk. I never have, never seen the point. But this is the kind of moment where I wish I had some just, some pleasant patter to fall back on. Because y'all deserve better than just sitting here and watching this. I've been trying to catch up on horror movies. I actually really like horror movies, but I find that I tend to watch the same horror movies repeatedly because I am also fairly sensitive about what I like in my horror and also what is a huge problem for me. In particular, I really don't like to be startled, and as you can imagine, the state of modern horror makes that a little bit awkward sometimes. So I'm trying to catch up on things that people have been telling me are good for a long time, and it's slow going, and also it turns out I just don't I don't necessarily like the things that lots of other people like. There are a lot of horror movies that are very well respected that I don't think are just any good at all, it turns out. Don't you dare, don't you fly at me. Come on, there we go. Oh, very shiny. Absolutely not. No universe in... I was about to say no universe in hell, which isn't even English. Drag me to a universe in hell. Flawless is not even worth thinking about. Cough syrup can wait until later. Okay, this is a pretty safe way of dislodging these guys. When I kill him, will the... No, it looks like the big guy will not have noticed me, actually. Well, now he will. Okay, so now it's totally safe to go down there, right? But I did want to say, I've talked about, I think, some of the horror movies that I'm watching in other videos and stuff, but one that I don't think I've talked about and that I would actually recommend, I know I was talking like I'm too cool for school and all these movies are beneath me, but there's a movie from like 2014 with Dan Stevens in it called The Guest, and I'm a big fan of, boy, I sure hope his name is actually Dan Stevens. I'm a big fan of Dan Stevens ever since I saw Legion. And he's really excellent in this. It's very, it gets real silly and over the top, which is how I like my horror. If you want a thing that's like very serious, this is maybe less exciting for you. And I don't know, it was recommended to me as a horror movie. I'm not 100% sure that I agree, but it's certainly something. It's certainly entertaining. No two ways about that. I kind of don't even want to, I know you're all saying, hey SB, maybe you want to give me like a little information. I kind of don't. It's a movie where, like, seeing how the wildness of the plot unfolds is part of the joy, and I sort of don't think I could tell you much about it without maybe interfering with the magic. Which is not to say that it's a movie that's reliant on twists, but there's sort of a... I'll say it, there's sort of an escalation to it that really is, I think, a lot of the point of what's happening. Okay, I'm very pleased with the way that went. I think we have actually killed everything in the tower above this point. So, I'm pretty pleased with that. Just being very cautious. Apparently I missed one. Alright, and yeah, we are absolutely just going to sit at the top of the elevator and wait for the cooldown on the giant whistle twice. What is in the apex spot? Did we... Oh, it's just a double turret. Okay, whatever. Okay, the other one is too smart to sit there and wait for death. Unfortunately, he is not up to the task. Alright, let's go get our radish and get the hell out of here. So, Restraint has done some fine things for us in terms of supplies here, but we're still very weak. Is that... This is the food shop, right? The weapon shop is up there, I think. Alright, so we have 85% health, plus a flask that heals for 85% health, no malaise, and that 85% is... So we have like 64,000 points of health, plus disengagement to eat some damage. I would be pretty confident if we were using a faster weapon. As it is, I'm definitely nervous that we're going to... gonna find ourselves just kind of getting dunked on here. That is a chest. Nope, we're not messing with it. I don't care enough. And we actually did hit our combo. It was a pretty clean final zone, actually. I cannot believe, why do they think it's acceptable to have level 10 gear in the combo door behind the Astrolab? I almost want to take the Wings of the Crow and just try to completely avoid the ground pound. But probably the correct way to completely avoid the ground pound is to kill him more quickly. And I do still want to keep the... we don't actually know how he behaves when he's rooted. Some bosses cannot turn around at all while rooted. Obviously, it's not an issue for the Hand of the King, and it may not be an issue for this guy. We're just going to have to hope here. But hey, we made it. We made it, even after a very, very, very bad Hand of the King fight. Like, tremendously bad. Maybe that might have been the worst Hand of the King fight that we've ever won. Right? Because we were very close to that line. Very close to being on the other side of that. Alright. Yeah. I give you the finger. You take 1,000 cells from me, and you use them to do the whatever it is that you're doing over here. I wonder, if you were to lose enough times, I wonder if he would just complete the antidote. Feels like he should, right? Alright, we're going to try something here. Aha! He dodges it for the first time ever. The area exploded by those things. It's really extraordinary. Okay, gotta actually jump. It does seem like the stun is totally functional against him. How is this a thing that's worth doing, even? Okay. I mean, we're kind of tearing him up. This weapon is such bullshit. Can I please just not get hit by stuff? Nope. Nope. Absolutely not. We are having some problems related to ammo. Okay, I mean, this is as far as we've ever been. What? I'm very annoyed that that was not a parry. Oh, that's bad. Okay, he just went invincible. What is even happening? We're just, like, cycling through the same phases over and over again, I guess? Okay, he's flasking. And then I don't let him do stuff for a minute, and then I get my ammo back. Oh, he doesn't... We don't actually get our ammo back from him. That's why that's working the way it is. Or rather, not working the way it is. I tried. Nope, early roll, bad. Ah. Oh. Also, my giant's not actually doing the thing he's supposed to do. That was a really weird version of the fight. I felt like I feel like when we fought him in the previous instances, we would stay in one room for a while, he would flask, and then... That was really strange. And then also our thing that makes arrows come back from enemies wasn't making our arrows come back from the enemy, and that was just a really weird one all the way around. Well, I mean, obviously we are very out of time. This ran super long because I was playing as slowly as anyone has ever played Dead Cells. Thank you all so much for watching. We're getting better at that fight. I dodged a lot of stuff that time. I am learning the attacks. We're going to get this, like, I think we're going to get it soon, actually, not to oversell it or anything. When you come back next time, tomorrow, who knows? Maybe it'll be the one. And we'll see you then.